Well, hello, everyone watching at home. We've got a rowdy crowd here at Kids Church outside on the patio, and we're going to get started the way that we always get started. We're going to sing. We've been talking here about how our first week of school was. Oh, I wish I could talk to you about how your first week of school was. Talk to someone, your mom, your dad, someone. Tell them how you feel about your first week of school. It's important that we talk about how we feel about those things. But we're going to start off like we always do. We're going to sing. We learned a new song last week about how we are free. So everybody up, let's sing this together. Let me see. Let me mute and... All right. Well, if we are here out on the back patio with us, I have an important announcement to make for you. That is, we need to stay 6 feet apart from people that we did not come here with. And so, in order to help us think of what 6 feet apart is like, we've been looking at some fun examples. And here we've got a fridge, so we need to keep one refrigerator's distance. Not wide, but fridges are about 6 feet tall. We need to keep one refrigerator's distance between you and others and close the door. What are you trying to do? Cool the whole neighborhood? My mom used to say that stuff to me all the time. You trying to cool the whole house? Shut the fridge door. Your parents ever tell that to you? No, is it just my parent who said that? Your parents say it too? Yeah. It's in the parent handbook. When you become a parent, they give you a little handbook of things to say, and this is one of them. All right, well, we're going to play a little bit of an opening game. We've been playing this game throughout our time here at Zooplosion. Ooh, look, there's a fire truck. I have got some animals right here. I have got some animals in my hand. I'm going to describe them to you, and I'm going to see if you can tell me what these animals are. We call it, which one, what now? So here we go. I've got first animal right here. It says, this animal has clear, transparent blood. That's right. We're start talking about a cheetah. You think a cheetah has clear, transparent blood? Crocodile, I heard. All right. Most of these animals have 8 eyes. 8 eyeballs. Spider. I hear a lot of spiders here. How about you at home? And these animals build unique webs. Spider! I didn't know they had 8 eyes, actually. I know they build webs because I have to clean them out of my house. But I didn't know they built 8 eyes. That's crazy. Okay. Next animal. This animal can sense body heat to attack. A bat. Now, I know this about bats. Bats do not sense body heat. They echolocate. Ooh. That's right. I have that kind of animal facts on hand, everybody. This animal does not chew its food. I think it's Caleb when he gets pizza to eat. He just swallows it whole. This animal can smell with their tongues. Yeah, snakes. And a king cobra venom can kill an elephant, which is amazing. It is a snake. So we've got spiders and snakes so far. This is apparently the creepy animal edition of Animal Facts. All right. This one is a little bit more difficult. This animal, we're loud here. It's loud here at Kids Church. If y'all at home, man, it's loud here. All right. This animal is attracted to shiny objects. Ooh, it got quiet all of a sudden. An octopus. Okay, that's a guess. This animal can mimic human speech. A parrot, all right. It is not a parrot. A barracuda. I would like to see a barracuda mimic speech, right? I just want to imagine this. All right, it's swimming along. Oh, it's got its fish face too. And then, wait. So I'm barracuda. I'm swimming, and then I come up to the top of the water, and I'm like, feed me. And I come back down. That'd be fun. All right. It's not a barracuda or a shark. This animal will, listen. This animal will lead predators to a kill so they can have the leftovers. A mockingbird? That's the closest so far. Jonathan is the closest so far. It is our friend, the raven. It is a raven. They will lead predators to animals they can kill so they can pick the leftovers. That is pretty crazy. So you guys are 2 for 3. The two were pretty easy. Raven. That was Slytherin versus Gryffindor. We are random today, I tell you. All right. I had a lot of fun with that opening game, and it is great to see everyone back because it is time for Zooplosion. So in case you haven't watched any of this yet, this series is all about animals in the Bible and what God teaches us through them. God includes a lot of animals in the Bible to show us who he is and how he made us to live, how he designed us to live. And we're going to start the service in a usual way by singing one more song together. But before that, we need to take a look at one more distancing. We're going to do the distancing reminder after this. So, everyone, get up. There's a song that I wanted to sing today because we're going through kind of a weird time right now. And we had, maybe good or some people had maybe a nightmare of a week. But it's important to remember that God is still in charge. God is in control. And we can take comfort by looking at everything that we know that God did in the past and say that God who had that power to do all that amazing stuff in the past is still in charge today. So we want to look with our hindsight and say, man, what God did in the past, I know he's going to do again in the future. Here we go.
As I reflect, I find perspective. There in the furnace, and on the days the furnace finds my fate, you're the fourth within the flames. I don't need to know what the future said, 'cause if the past could talk, it would tell me this: my God isn't finished yet. If he did it before, he can do it again. So I trust him with what comes next. For the God I know is known for faithfulness. Yeah, my hindsight says I can trust him with what's next. For the God I know is known for faithfulness. There's more ahead than what's behind me, 'cause through the highs and lows and in between, God, you go ahead of me. And when you call me, I will follow. And if the water falls beneath my feet, then you'll pull me from the deep. I don't need to know what the future says, 'cause if the past could talk, it would tell me this: my God isn't finished yet. If he did it before, he can do it again. So I trust him with what comes next. For the God I know is known for faithfulness. Yeah, my hindsight says I can trust him with what's next. For the God I know is known for faithfulness. Sing it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on, sing out on it. I don't need to know what the future says, 'cause if the past could talk, it would tell me this. Come on, sing it with me. My God isn't finished yet. If he did it before, he can do it again. So I trust him with what comes next. 'Cause my hindsight says I can count on this: my God isn't finished yet. If he did it before, he can do it again. So I trust him with what comes next. For the God I know is known for faithfulness. Yeah, my hindsight says I can trust him with what's next. For the God I know is known for faithfulness. Yes, he is. Yes, he
All right, I'm going to turn things over to Jenna, but first, I'm going to remind you that we do need to stay 6 feet apart from people who didn't come with us today. If you're at home, man, jump on each other, climb on each other's heads, do whatever you want. But if you're here, got to stay 6 feet apart. Be like Bigfoot, the social distancing world champion. Stay at least 6 feet away from the person next to you. And I'm going to do this. So come on up, Jenna, and I'm going to mute me. Go this way.
All right, so great job singing this morning. Now we've got some really important stuff to talk about today. And I'd like to go ahead and jump right into our main point today, which is God provided Jesus to lead and guide us. It's going to take some shouting to make this main point stick. So everybody get up and give me a hand. No, go sit down. And all right, let's say this all together. 1, 2, 3. God provided Jesus to lead and guide us. That was phenomenal. You may sit down. So God provided Jesus for us, and his teachings can help us to live the best life possible. In fact, I'd like to read about it to you from the Bible. Today, we're going to talk about some sheep, and I'm going to read some of it for you. But first, we've got to find it in the Bible, and for that, I have some clues. Because it has to be a mystery. We have to figure it out. All right, the first clue says that our verse is found in the second section of the Bible called the New Testament. That's right. The New Testament, and this is a list of all the books in the New Testament. So clue number 2 says our book is in a group of books called the Gospels. Does anybody know which ones those are? Yep. The first section, so we've narrowed it down a bit. Clue 3 says that this book was written by the disciple that Jesus loved. Does anybody know who that is? Who do you think? John? Let's see. Clue number 4 says that the book starts with a J. And that's the only one on that list of gospel that starts with a J. So yes, it is John. John was a follower of Jesus. Yes, John was a follower of Jesus, and you can read about his relationship with Jesus in all 4 of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. After Jesus died and rose again and then returned to heaven, John decided to write down a kind of memoir. Do you guys know what a memoir is? It's kind of like a biography, kind of like a story of things that happened to them. And I'm sure you've all read biographies in school, or you will. So he wanted to be able to share the story with lots of people, all of the things that he saw Jesus do and that he saw Jesus stay. So today we're going to look at a passage from John chapter 10, verses 1 through 7. It says, I tell you the truth, anyone who sneaks over the wall of a sheepfold rather than going through the gate must surely be a thief and a robber. But the one who enters through the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep recognize his voice and come out to him. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. After he has gathered his own sheep and flock, he walks ahead of them, and they follow him because they know his voice. They don't follow a stranger. They will run from a stranger because they don't know his voice. Those who heard Jesus use this illustration didn't understand what he meant, so he explained it to them. The whole next section is Jesus explaining what he was talking about. And that is what our Bible story is for today. So first, let's find out a little bit about these sheep that Jesus was talking about.
Sheep were some of the most common animals in Bible times. If you were a wealthy person, many times your wealth was measured by the size of your flocks. Sheep provided and still do provide milk, cheese, meat, and wool, which is a material made from their fur. However, sheep don't do too well when they're on their own. They need a shepherd, which is someone who looks after sheep. Now, being a shepherd was not as easy as it sounds. You had to do more than just watch the sheep. A shepherd had to guide the sheep to find good pastures for them to feed on. He had to lead them to water for them to drink. He had to keep them safe from other animals that would try to capture and eat the sheep. He even had to protect the sheep from thieves who would steal them. A good shepherd had to work hard and care about the sheep he was looking after. It's not surprising that many of the heroes of the Bible worked as shepherds. Abraham, Jacob, Moses, and even King David all tended sheep. In John chapter 10, Jesus talked about shepherds. He talked about robbers coming over walls to steal the sheep. He talked about sheep recognizing their shepherd's voice. And he talked about how a shepherd walks ahead of the sheep and leads them. This was all interesting, but it wasn't new information to the people Jesus was talking to. They already knew all this, and they didn't know why Jesus was talking about it. So Jesus explained it to them. Starting at verse 7, Jesus said to them,
I tell you the truth, I am the gate for the sheep. All who came before me were thieves and robbers, but the true sheep did not listen to them. Yes, I am the gate. Those who come in through me will be saved. They will come and go freely and will find good pastures. The thief's purpose is to steal and kill and destroy. My purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life.
Jesus went on to say that he is the good shepherd. But you might be asking, if Jesus is the shepherd, then who are the sheep? Well, we are the sheep. Jesus was talking about us. People, like sheep, need guidance. We need someone to lead us and tell us how to do the right things and have the best life. And that's what Jesus has done for us. Jesus is God's Son, and during the time he was here on earth, he performed miracles and taught us amazing things. Like a shepherd, he leads us, takes care of us, protects us, and teaches us to follow his voice so we won't take the wrong paths in life. God gave us Jesus so that we could have the best life possible. We should always be thankful to God for providing Jesus, the Good Shepherd.
So that's some good stuff. I really like the idea that we can look to Jesus to be a good shepherd for us. And I have a Bible verse from that story to help remind us about Jesus being our shepherd. John? Here you can see that John 10:10 says, "The thief's purpose is to steal and kill and destroy. My purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life." Jesus wants us to follow him like sheep follow a good shepherd. We just got to hear about how a good shepherd acts, but I think it's also important to talk about what it's like if the sheep don't have a shepherd. They don't have anybody to follow. Perhaps if we tune into Zooplosion, we can find out what might happen to a flock of sheep that don't have any shepherd. It's time to use our imagination again because it's time for Zooplosion. But first, I've got one more example of social distancing for us, and that is to maintain a 6-foot distance or else. Thanks, guys. So let's check out Zooplosion.
Welcome to the zoo, my friends. Welcome to the zoo, my friends. We're gonna move and groove and sing along. We're gonna have some fun with the animals. We're gonna shout out loud. Welcome to the zoo, my friends. Welcome to the zoo, my friends.
This week on Zooplosion, we're talking about sheep. Now, Jesus told us how a good shepherd should act. But what happens to sheep without a shepherd? Here's what might happen.
Wow, this place seems nice.
Yeah, look at all the green stuff down here and all the blue stuff way up there.
Yeah, I like it here. We'll do all right around here.
So, what do we do now?
I don't know, but I'm thirsty.
Yeah, me too.
Well, what do we do?
Oh, I know. We need water. Yeah, that's it. We need water.
Hey, there's some over here.
Oh, there's some back here too.
Which one do we drink from?
Well, this one looks nice. It's not moving at all. It's just standing still.
Well, the water back here is moving really, really fast. You know what? I'm gonna drink from the moving water. Oh no! I completely regret my decision about the water.
What happened? I wasn't paying attention.
I see something. Who are you?
I'm a thief. I'm a shepherd. No thieves here.
Well, do you take care of sheep?
I sure do.
Sheep? Hey, that's us.
Uh-huh.
Are you good at your job? It sounds interesting.
I'm the best. I know where to find the best food, and I'll take you to the best water to drink from.
I don't want anything to do with any water. But I am really hungry. Do you have any of that food you were talking about?
I sure do. It's right here in the bottom of this big bag.
I don't see anything.
Well, that's because the food is way down deep in the bottom of the bag. You just have to crawl right on in there.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
Yes.
Here I go.
All right, here we go. All right, gotcha.
That was awful.
What happened? I wasn't paying attention.
Things aren't going so well. I think we need to choose a different spot.
Oh, that sounds reasonable.
What about over by the still water? Okay. That was awful.
Oh, my.
What happened? I wasn't paying attention.
You're never paying attention. What's wrong with you?
Oh, like not paying attention ever caused anybody any problems whatsoever. Let anybody do anything. Hey, what's happening? I wasn't paying attention.
That was awful.
What do we do now?
I don't know. Why do these things keep happening to us?
We have to figure something out. Our situation's getting worse.
Well, what do we do?
Well, let's split up. We'll split up, and we'll find something.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find something. Hurry, we've got to find it.
Okay.
Have you found anything yet?
Not so far. Wait a second.
What?
I'm lost. Where are you?
I don't know. Where are you?
I don't know. I told you I'm lost.
That's it. I tell you, no more. No more. I'm standing right here, and I'm not moving. If I don't move, I can't get into any more trouble. Do you hear me, world? I will not be moved. Hey, what's that over there? Oh, that looks interesting.
Clearly, sheep were not made to function without a shepherd leading and guiding them. Hello? Is anyone there? I'm still lost. Thankfully, with Jesus leading and guiding us, we don't have to live our lives like these poor sheep.
And now it's time to play Who's the Fastest? Pick which animal you think will be the fastest. Zebra, rhino, kangaroo, or ostrich. Animals, on your mark. Get set, go! Zebra wins! I guess those are racing stripes.
All right, the Lions might not have won today, but I know they're going to win next weekend. Woo! Go Lions. All right. Lions aren't in this. No, they were there. Oh, yeah, they were there. Wouldn't it be great if those were the names of NFL teams? Like, wouldn't it be great? Like Washington's picking a new team name, right? Like, wouldn't it be great if they became the Washington Ostriches? That would be great. All right. We are wound up here on the back patio. I hope you're wound up at your house, too, if you're watching us there. So, shh. Let's talk about these sheep for a second. This is why sheep need a good shepherd. And as people, honestly, we're not really all that different from the sheep. We still need someone to follow, and there really is no better choice than this guy we talk about here named Jesus, because, like he said, he is the good shepherd. And like a shepherd, he's there to lead us and to guide us. When Jesus walked on earth, he gave us a ton of examples on ways that we can live that give us the best life possible, the life that God designed us to live. He taught us about things like loving our neighbors. He even talked about things like loving our enemies. From Jesus, we know that we should treat others the way that we want to be treated. He showed us how to be generous. He showed us how we can be humble. And he showed us what it really means to serve others. And that's just a little tiny amount of the things that Jesus taught. He taught us so much more. And as we follow Jesus, what we really want to do is we want to read in the Bible what he taught us and showed us, and then we want to actually do the things that he taught us and showed us. So we have to read about it and learn about it, and then we have to have the courage to actually do it. You can read about Jesus' life in those first 4 books of the New Testament that we talked about. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They all wrote down the things that they saw Jesus do and heard Jesus say, or the things that they interviewed other people seeing Jesus do and hearing Jesus say. So we should take some time every day to read just a little tiny bit of the Bible, and especially about Jesus. Reading our Bibles is one of the ways that we worship God. Now here, there's another way that we talk about worshiping God, and that is through our time of offering. We give back to God just a little tiny bit of what he gave to us. So I'm going to pray right now for our offering, and then if you have an offering, I've got a little metal bucket over there. You can get up and you can put it in there. So let's pray first. God, we love you very much. We thank you for everything that you did, especially for sending your son Jesus to earth to live with us, to teach us, and to show us what it really means to live the life you designed us to live. But Jesus did way more than that. He showed us how to sacrifice by giving his own life so that we can be forgiven of every wrong thing that we've done. And then you rose him from the dead, which is amazing too. That means that we can be forgiven and we can be friends of yours now and forever. God, that makes us want to give anything that we can to be your followers. And right now we want to give just a little bit of what you've blessed us with to show us that we know it comes from you, to show you that we trust you and we love you, and we know that you can use this far better than we can. So God, would the offering that we give put a smile on your face, and would you help this church use it to let everyone in our community and even all around the world know how awesome you are and that you love them very much and that you have a great plan for their life. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. All right, if you've got an offering, you can go put it in the little metal bucket. And that leads me to another topic that we need to talk about, and that is the peanut butter challenge. Because also over on that table, you will see a big pile of peanut butter and a whole bunch of boxes of mac and cheese. So one of the things that we do as a church is we try to do the things that Jesus taught us to do. And one of the things Jesus taught us to do is to take care of those who are in need. Here in Germantown, there's a whole lot of people in need who don't really have the ability to buy just some basic food to put on their table. There's kids who go to bed every night maybe hungry because their parents just don't have the money to buy food for them. Can you imagine going to bed every night hungry? Man, that would be really, really sad. Oh man, this is like, look at the timing of this. Thanks, Jamie. You arrived at just the right time. So we want to help take care of people who need help. And so we partner with an agency here in town called Germantown Help. We're doing a big food drive in a couple weeks where 300 people are going to pull through our parking lot and get a big old grocery bag of food just for nothing, just because we love them. And Germantown Help is providing a lot of the food, but they've asked us to provide peanut butter and mac and cheese to put in those bags. And we need to come up with 300 jars of mac and cheese, or 300 jars of peanut butter, 300 boxes of mac and cheese as a whole church. But as a kids' church family, we want to provide 50 of each of those. And if we do it by next week, then Emma is going to come out with an extra jar of peanut butter that we will provide, and she's going to give me a peanut butter hairdo, which is sounds sticky and gross, and I'll be very popular with bees for a little bit probably. And I'm not allergic to peanut butter, which is good, because otherwise that would be really dangerous. So you've got one more week to bring those donations of peanut butter and mac and cheese, and we'll see next week if we get to 50 jars of peanut butter and 50 boxes of mac and cheese. That would be exciting. I would love to be able to share that with Germantown Help and say, hey, even the kids here at Journey's Crossing really desire to take care of people in need, and we're willing to be a part of this as well. All right, we're going to go into the time of small groups, but before we do that, I need to remind you to stay distant because we're going to get up and we're going to have an activity where we're actually near each other. And so social distancing means keeping a lion's length between you and other people at all times, which is 6 feet, but you shouldn't use an actual lion for that. That's dangerous. You should keep at least 4 elephant lengths between you and an actual lion, but don't use an actual elephant either because that also is dangerous. Now, we are going to divide up into a couple groups as we get ready for our small groups because we have a couple of shepherds, and they are going to lead you as sheep on a journey to find tasty, delicious grass to eat. So I have Yari in a red shirt, and she is going to lead the red sheep group, and I have John. I could only think of your kid's name. All of a sudden, Josh in a blue shirt. I haven't seen Josh in months. So you have Josh in a blue shirt. He's going to lead the blue shirt, the blue sheep group. So I need, let's see, how am I going to divide this? How about I go from, let's see, Jeremy and these 5 right here. Why don't you guys go with the blue sheep group over there? What I want you to do is to try to stay 6 feet apart from each other. You may want to slip a mask up if you're going to be closer than 6 feet. And then everyone else is going to be a part of the red sheep group. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so the red sheep group is right here, bud. And let's see, are we kind of even? Yeah, Riley, why don't you go on that way? And all right, Jonathan, why don't you come on over here with Yari? All right, and you guys are going to go on a bit of an expedition. Oh, man. All right. Well, thank our shepherds. Give our shepherds a big round of applause. And you know what? Jesus, we've been learning today, is our good shepherd. Jesus is a lot like our red shepherd. If we listen to Jesus' voice and we follow him, he will lead us to the best life possible, the life he designed us to live. So if you're coming back in, if you are at home, we did a small group activity here, and we had a couple of shepherds, and one shepherd led their sheep to a pasture, and they all got fruit snacks. And one shepherd, chucked a sheep at a wolf to appease a wolf, and, I don't know, slept on the job, or I don't know what happened. We had a crazy time here. A wolf visited. We found out that one shepherd was carrying guns and swords. I mean, man, it was wild. I'll be on later this week with a couple of small groups or continue the journey activities that you can do at home too. It might be nice to take a little break from school and just focus a little bit on Jesus and continuing your journey to find and follow him. We're loud out here. Wow. Okay. So we're getting ready to wrap things up right now. First of all, let me remind you that we're doing one more thing out here, and for that thing, we need to stay distant. So we need to maintain a safe distance of 6 largemouth bass from each other at all times. So you know those little largemouth bass, some people put them on a thing, and they sing, and they do all kinds of weird things. Caleb, have a seat. So 6 of those between each other. And we're going to do two things now. We're going to play a review game, Sunny Sam's Super Safari, and then I'm going to come back and say goodbye. If you're watching at home, we're going to be running races like ostriches and kangaroos and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to say goodbye to you. We're going to put the questions on your screen at home, and then we'll come back and wrap things up all together.
It's time for Sunny Sam's Super Safari. Help Sam complete his collection of animal pictures.
All right, kids, you did a great job with that here at home. I hope you had a good time with those review questions. And we're getting ready to wrap things up. I want to remind you of our main point. Give me once. Oh, you got to go pee? All right, go right on in. Yep, go right on in, bud. We had to have a pee break. All right, so I want to remind you of the main point. God provided Jesus to lead and guide us. And I want to remind you that we'll be out here all fall long until it gets too cold. Oh, we've turned some bubbles on. So you can register at ilovethischurch.com/events. We had a great time here, kids. You were great this morning, and our attention span is gone. So goodbye, everybody.